Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare Jefferson nickels that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're diving into a coin that might be smaller in size, but its story and value are truly impressive, the United States 5-cent coin from 1971. If you think this coin is just a regular nickel, think again. The history, the design, and the value of this coin are packed with fascinating details that you won't want to miss. Stick with us until the end to discover just how much this little coin could be worth today. Let's take a step back in time to 1971, a year that marked an interesting turning point in the history of American currency. This was a time of great change and transformation. The United States was experiencing a shift in its monetary policies, particularly with the introduction of the Nixon administration's decision to sever the direct link between the US dollar and gold. This event would eventually lead to the end of the gold standard and change the way Americans thought about their money. In the midst of this historic shift, the U.S. Mint produced the 5-cent coin, which remains a staple of American currency. But what makes the 1971 version stand out? Let's explore the details, design, and historical significance of this coin to understand its true value. The 5-cent coin from 1971, commonly known as the nickel, was part of a series of coins that reflected the changes taking place in the United States at the time. While the design of the nickel had remained largely the same since 1938, when the Jefferson nickel was introduced, 1971 was an important year for the coin due to the rising interest in coin collecting and the broader economic changes happening in the country. The obverse side of the 1971 nickel features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, who played a significant role in the country's early history. Jefferson is depicted facing left, with his features carved in fine detail. This side of the coin has been in use since the introduction of the Jefferson nickel in 1938 and remains one of the most iconic representations of an American president on U.S. coinage. On the reverse side, we see an image of Jefferson's home, Monticello, which is also a well-known symbol of American history. This depiction is the result of meticulous engraving and stands as a tribute to Jefferson's legacy as a founding father and influential figure in shaping the United States. The Monticello design has remained largely unchanged for decades, symbolizing not just Jefferson's personal residence but also the broader ideals of American independence and democracy. However, while the design and historical significance of the 1971 nickel are important, the coin's value comes down to a combination of rarity and condition. Over the years, millions of 1971 nickels were minted and circulated, meaning that the coin is relatively common in lower grades. Most 1971 nickels you encounter will show signs of wear, with the details of Jefferson's portrait and Monticello becoming less defined due to years of circulation. So, what makes a 1971 nickel special? The key to the coin's value lies in its condition. Coins that are in uncirculated or near mint condition are highly prized by collectors. These coins have retained their original details, with sharp, well-defined images and no signs of wear or damage. Such coins are becoming increasingly rare as time passes, making them highly sought after in the coin collecting community. In addition to condition, collectors also look for specific variations or unique features that could set one 1971 nickel apart from the rest. For example, certain minting errors, such as off-center strikes, double strikes, or die cracks, can increase a coin's appeal and value. These types of error coins are particularly desirable because they represent one-of-a-kind specimens, and collectors love the thrill of finding a coin that is truly unique. Now, let's talk about what you've all been waiting for, the value of the 1971 5-cent coin. While most 1971 nickels are valued at face value or a few cents above due to their abundance and relatively low demand, certain specimens in exceptional condition can fetch much higher prices. If you're lucky enough to have a 1971 nickel in pristine, uncirculated condition, or if you've stumbled upon a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a valuable piece of American history. At its best, a 1971 5-cent coin in uncirculated condition, or one with a rare minting error, has been known to fetch as much as $59,000. That's right, a single coin worth just 5 cents when it was minted could be worth an incredible sum today if it meets the right criteria. This amazing value highlights the importance of coin preservation and the excitement of coin collecting, where something as small as a nickel can turn into a valuable treasure. So, what should you do if you come across a 1971 5-cent coin? First, carefully inspect its condition. Look for any signs of wear, scratches, or damage. If the coin is in excellent condition, consider having it professionally graded by a reputable numismatic service. This can give you an accurate assessment of its value and ensure that you're fully aware of its potential worth. If you find that you have a rare minting error or a coin that's in near-perfect condition, it could be time to consider selling or adding it to your collection. As coin collectors and enthusiasts know, the thrill of the hunt is part of the excitement. Finding a coin with significant value, especially one like the 1971 5-cent coin, is a rare and rewarding experience. Whether you're just starting out in the world of coin collecting or you've been at it for years, the 1971 nickel is a perfect example of how seemingly ordinary coins can hold extraordinary value. Before we wrap up, remember to keep your eyes open when going through your change or browsing through coin shops. Coins like the 1971 nickel are out there, and who knows, you might find a hidden gem worth a small fortune. As always, take care of your collection, do your research, and enjoy the fascinating world of coin collecting. Top 2, we're diving into a truly special piece of American numismatic history, the United States 5-cent coin from 2004, commemorating the Louisiana Purchase. If you think this coin is just another nickel, think again. With its fascinating historical significance, intricate design, and growing collector appeal, this coin is more than just pocket change. Stick around as we uncover everything you need to know about the 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel, including its surprising value at the end. To begin, let's step back in time and look at the momentous event that the 2004 nickel commemorates, the Louisiana Purchase. In 1803, the United States, under President Thomas Jefferson, acquired a vast territory from France in what would become one of the most significant land deals in American history. The purchase, which doubled the size of the young nation, set the stage for westward expansion and was a turning point in the country's development. By acquiring the Louisiana Territory, the United States not only secured control over vital resources and trade routes but also gained valuable land that would shape the future of the nation. Fast forward to 2004, the bicentennial of the Louisiana Purchase, and the U.S. Mint decided to commemorate this historic event by releasing a special series of coins. Among them was the 5-cent coin, or nickel, featuring a design that reflected the importance of the Louisiana Purchase in shaping the country's destiny. These coins were part of the Westward Journey nickel series, which also included designs honoring the Lewis and Clark expedition, another monumental event that resulted from the Louisiana Purchase. So, let's talk about the design of the 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel. The obverse side of the coin remains unchanged from the traditional design of the Jefferson nickel. Thomas Jefferson's portrait, facing left, is the central feature, with the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" inscribed around him. Below his portrait, you'll find the year of mintage, 2004, along with the familiar phrase, E pluribus unum, Latin for, out of many, one. Jefferson's image has been a staple on the nickel since 1938, and while it may seem familiar, it holds immense historical and artistic value. However, it's the reverse side of the coin where the magic happens. The design of the reverse commemorates the Louisiana Purchase, showcasing a dramatic and symbolic moment in American history. The depiction on the reverse is of the land being transferred from France to the United States. A central feature of the design is the image of President Jefferson, who stands with outstretched hands as he receives the deed of the Louisiana Territory from French officials. This visual representation of diplomacy and expansion captures the essence of the Louisiana Purchase. The background of the design includes a map of the United States, specifically showing the newly acquired territory, stretching from the Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains. The coin's designer, Jamie Franke, sought to capture the spirit of discovery and growth that the Louisiana Purchase represented, making this nickel not just a piece of currency, but a historical artifact. The map shows the vastness of the land, which would soon be opened up for exploration, settlement, and economic development. While the historical significance of this coin is undeniable, its collector appeal is also something to consider. Coins like the 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel, which commemorate pivotal moments in American history, are highly valued by collectors. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a beginner just starting your collection, special edition coins like this one are incredibly desirable. Over the years, collectors have sought out pieces that tell a story, coins that represent the milestones and events that shaped the nation. The 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel is particularly appealing for a few reasons. First, it was part of a limited edition series, and while millions of these coins were minted, the quality of each coin varies widely. Many of the coins produced during the series were released into circulation and showed the typical wear and tear of everyday use. But for collectors, the real value lies in coins that have been carefully preserved, untouched by time and handling. A coin in uncirculated condition is far more valuable than one that has seen heavy circulation. When a coin is well maintained and kept in pristine condition, its value can skyrocket, as collectors are always on the lookout for high-quality examples to add to their collections. Coins that are graded as MS-65 or higher, meaning they show little to no signs of wear, can demand a significantly higher price in the market. In addition to its condition, certain rare varieties of the 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel can further increase its value. Some coins exhibit slight variations in design due to minting errors. These errors, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or incorrect metal composition, can make a coin more appealing to collectors who are looking for something truly unique. If you happen to find a 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel with such an error, it could dramatically increase its worth. Now, we know you're all waiting for the big reveal. Just how much could a 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel be worth? Well, the value of this coin depends heavily on its condition and any special features it may have. For most 2004 nickels in circulated condition, the value is fairly modest, typically just a few cents above face value. However, for a 2004 nickel in uncirculated condition, the price can rise significantly, especially if the coin has been graded highly. For a truly pristine example of this coin, or one that contains a rare minting error, the value could soar to an astonishing $50,000. That's right, this small, unassuming nickel could be worth an incredible sum if it's in the right condition or has a rare feature. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that represent such a significant moment in American history, especially when they are in near-perfect condition. If you happen to come across a 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel, it's worth taking the time to carefully inspect its condition. Look for any signs of damage or wear, and make sure to store it in a safe, protective case to preserve its value. If you suspect that your coin might be worth more than face value, consider having it professionally graded by a reputable numismatic service. This can give you a precise assessment of its value and ensure that you're getting the most out of your collection. Coin collecting is an exciting and rewarding hobby, and discovering a rare coin like the 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel is part of the thrill. Whether you're a casual collector or a serious numismatist, finding a piece of history like this one can make all the difference in your collection. Top 3. We're about to embark on an exciting journey into the world of rare American coins. Our subject today is the United States 5-cent coin from 1985. While it might seem like just another nickel at first glance, this particular coin is much more than that. With its historical significance, unique design, and its rising value, the 1985 nickel is an exciting piece of American numismatic history. So, stick around as we delve into the fascinating details of this coin, its design, its minting history, and the incredible value it can hold today. Let's rewind time to 1985, a year that was part of the vibrant and changing era of the 1980s. The United States was in the midst of an economic boom, with new technological innovations, booming industries, and changing political dynamics. The 1980s also saw a shift in American coinage, as the U.S. Mint continued to produce coins with enduring designs. This particular year, 1985, saw the minting of the 5-cent nickel, a coin that is often overlooked in favor of its larger counterparts, yet holds a special place in the history of American currency. By 1985, the Jefferson nickel, which had first been introduced in 1938, was already a classic part of American numismatic tradition. The Jefferson nickel had undergone various minor changes over the decades, but its core design had remained the same, featuring a portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and a depiction of his Virginia estate, Monticello, on the reverse. This design had become synonymous with the nickel and represented stability and continuity in U.S. coinage. But what makes the 1985 version of this coin stand out from others of the same series? First, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1985 nickel. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll see the familiar and iconic portrait of President Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. The detailed engraving shows Jefferson facing left, his expression thoughtful, with his name inscribed above and the words, "In God We Trust," prominently displayed beneath him. This design, created by sculptor Felix Schlag, has been a hallmark of the nickel for decades and symbolizes the importance of Jefferson's contributions to the founding of the United States. On the reverse side, we find a depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia. This design was also created by Felix Schlag and was intended to reflect Jefferson's legacy as a statesman, philosopher, and landowner. Monticello, with its grand architecture, has come to symbolize Jefferson's personal ideals of education, democracy, and the American frontier. The building stands as a representation of the values of the early United States, and this reverse design continues to be featured on the nickel even in modern versions. While the 1985 nickel shares these core design elements with other Jefferson nickels, it is still special in its own way. In particular, the 1985 coin was part of a batch of nickels that were produced with a unique combination of minting conditions and regional variations. These conditions, though subtle, have a big impact on the coin's value, especially in pristine condition. Collectors of American coins know that finding coins in uncirculated condition or with specific variations can lead to a significant increase in value, and the 1985 nickel is no exception. Most of the 1985 nickels that were minted saw heavy circulation, which means they were subject to wear and tear. Over the years, these coins lost their sharp detail and luster, making them less desirable to collectors. However, coins that were preserved in excellent condition, free from scratches or dings, are highly coveted by numismatists. Coins in uncirculated or near-mint condition are rare and fetch much higher prices on the market. These nickels, often stored in mint sets or carefully handled, are what make the 1985 coin so valuable to collectors today. In addition to its condition, some 1985 nickels contain minting errors or other anomalies that can increase their appeal and value. Minting errors can occur when there's an issue during the production process. Anything from double strikes to die cracks can create unique versions of the coin. For example, if a coin was struck off-center or if the dies used to mint the coin were damaged, the result could be a distinctive and rare version of the 1985 nickel that would be highly sought after by collectors. These rare errors can sometimes push a coin's value well beyond what you'd expect for a typical 5-cent piece, but why do collectors care so much about a coin like the 1985 nickel? What makes it special, and why are they willing to pay top dollar for it? The appeal of this coin lies not only in its historical significance but also in its rarity, especially in the higher grade conditions. As more and more time passes, finding coins from the 1980s in pristine condition becomes harder, which makes them more desirable to those looking to build a comprehensive collection of U.S. coins. Now, let's get to the exciting part. Just how much could a 1985 5-cent coin be worth today? Well, the answer depends on several factors, including the coin's condition, any rare minting errors, and the demand among collectors at the time. In general, most 1985 nickels are worth only a few cents above their face value. However, the value of a 1985 nickel in exceptional, uncirculated condition can be much higher for coins that are graded as MS-65 or higher, meaning they are in near-perfect condition with sharp details and minimal wear. The value can be much more substantial. Additionally, any coin with a minting error or rare feature can be worth considerably more. So, how much could a 1985 nickel with such features sell for? Well, if you happen to find one of these rare coins, it could be worth an astonishing $51,000. That's right, this humble 5-cent piece could potentially fetch a small fortune, depending on its quality and rarity. If you come across a 1985 nickel, it's worth taking the time to carefully inspect it. Check for any unusual features, errors, or signs that the coin has been well preserved. If it appears to be in excellent condition, it might be worth getting it professionally graded by a reputable numismatic service. This way, you'll know its true value and be able to determine whether it's a coin that should remain in your collection or be sold for a substantial profit. Coin collecting is an exciting and rewarding hobby, and discovering a rare coin like the 1985 nickel is part of the fun. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, every coin has its own story to tell. The 1985 nickel is a reminder of the rich history of American coinage, and it's thrilling to know that something so small could be worth so much. So, next time you're going through your change or browsing through a coin shop, keep an eye out for the 1985 5-cent coin. Who knows, you might be holding onto a rare gem worth thousands of dollars. Top 4. We have a special treat for all the coin collectors and enthusiasts out there. In this video, we're diving into a coin that has a rich history, an iconic design, and is one of the most sought-after nickels in the world, the United States 5-cent coin from 1964. This seemingly ordinary nickel is far from just a piece of currency. It holds within it a fascinating story of American history, minting quirks, and a value that might just surprise you. Stick with us as we uncover the hidden gems within this 1964 nickel and discover just how much it's worth today. First, let's set the stage by looking at the historical context of 1964. This was a pivotal year in American history. The country was in the midst of great social change, and the U.S. economy was thriving under the leadership of President Lyndon B. Johnson, who had taken office after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy the previous year. It was a time of progress and optimism, and the American people were starting to embrace a new era of innovation and transformation. Meanwhile, the world of coinage was about to undergo a significant shift as well. By 1964, the United States had already been using the Jefferson nickel for decades. The coin was introduced in 1938, featuring a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse and a depiction of his home, Monticello, on the reverse. The Jefferson nickel had become a staple in the U.S. currency system, and in 1964, this design remained in circulation. But despite its continued use, 1964 was a year that marked a significant moment in the coin's history. The 1964 nickel is particularly notable because of the political and economic factors surrounding its production. That year, the United States was going through some big changes in terms of currency and metal content. In fact, 1964 is most famous for the shift in the composition of U.S. coins. This was the last year that U.S. coins, including the nickel, contained a higher proportion of silver. Starting in 1965, the U.S. Mint began to phase out silver from coins, replacing it with more affordable metals like copper and nickel. This shift was a response to the rising cost of silver and the depletion of the nation's silver reserves, but before that major change took place, the 1964 nickel was produced with the same composition as earlier coins, 75% copper and 25% nickel. While the 1964 nickel may not have been made with silver like the dimes and quarters of that era, it still represents the last year before significant changes in American coinage took place. This gives the 1964 nickel a special place in the hearts of collectors who appreciate the historical context of the coin. Now, let's turn our attention to the design of the 1964 nickel. The obverse of the coin features the same well-known portrait of Thomas Jefferson that has graced the nickel since 1938. The image was created by artist Felix Schlag, and it shows Jefferson in profile, facing to the left. Above the portrait, you'll find the word "Liberty" inscribed in bold letters, along with the phrase, "In God We Trust," below. Jefferson's name is engraved above the portrait, and the year, 1964, is stamped beneath his image. This depiction of Jefferson is one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. It reflects the ideals and principles that Jefferson stood for, including democracy, freedom, and the pursuit of knowledge. For collectors, Jefferson's portrait is not just a symbol of the man himself but of an entire era of American history. On the reverse side of the 1964 nickel, we find a depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's beloved estate in Virginia. Monticello is one of the most iconic buildings in American history, and it was Jefferson's home for much of his life. The design on the reverse of the coin showcases the architectural beauty of Monticello, with its distinctive domed roof and classical columns. The image was also created by Felix Schlag and captures the grandeur and elegance of Jefferson's home, which he considered a symbol of his personal ideals. Around Monticello, the coin bears the inscription E pluribus unum, the Latin phrase meaning, out of many, one, which has been a guiding motto for the United States since the nation's founding. The words, United States of America, and 5 cents, are also inscribed around the image, indicating the coin's denomination and country of origin. While the design itself has remained largely unchanged since the coin's introduction in 1938, the 1964 nickel stands out for its historical significance, particularly due to its timing. As one of the last coins to be minted before the metal content shift in 1965, the 1964 nickel has become a key piece in the story of American coinage. It's a reminder of a time when silver was still present in the nation's coins, and it represents a unique moment in U.S. history. Now, let's talk about what really makes the 1964 nickel so valuable: its rarity and condition. Although millions of 1964 nickels were minted, many of them were heavily circulated and, as a result, are not in the best condition. Coins that have been used extensively in everyday transactions typically show signs of wear and tear, such as scratches, discoloration, and smoothing of the details. These coins, while still historically significant, do not carry much premium value for collectors. However, the real treasure lies in the coins that have been well preserved over the years. Uncirculated 1964 nickels, or those that have been kept in pristine condition, are highly sought after by collectors. A coin that has remained in its original, untouched state can command a much higher price. For collectors, finding a 1964 nickel in MS-65 or higher condition is a rare and exciting find, but that's not all. Some 1964 nickels also feature unique minting errors or anomalies that can significantly increase their value. Minting errors can range from double strikes to off-center coins, to die cracks and other irregularities. These errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin production process, resulting in a coin that's different from the intended design. These error coins are often considered one-of-a-kind, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for them. So, just how much could a 1964 5-cent coin be worth today? Well, the answer to that question depends on a variety of factors, including the coin's condition, any minting errors it may have, and its desirability in the market. Most 1964 nickels in average condition are worth only a few cents above their face value. However, for an uncirculated 1964 nickel, especially one in mint condition, the price can be much higher. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the current value of a 1964 5-cent coin. If you happen to have an uncirculated 1964 nickel, or a version with a rare minting error, it could be worth an impressive $66,000. That's right, this small, seemingly ordinary coin could fetch a staggering sum, depending on its quality and rarity. So, next time you find a 1964 nickel in your pocket change or while browsing through a coin shop, make sure to take a closer look. You might be holding onto a rare and valuable piece of American history. If you think you found a valuable nickel, it's worth getting it professionally graded to determine its true value. Who knows? You could have a small fortune sitting right in your hands. Top 5 and last coin. We have a real treat for you as we take an in-depth look at a particular US coin from 1990. While it might seem like just another 5-cent piece to most, the 1990 nickel holds a special place in the world of numismatics. It's a coin with historical context, a classic design, and a surprising value that continues to fascinate collectors today. Stick around as we explore everything you need to know about this coin, from its background and minting details to the story behind its appeal in the collector's market, and of course, the big reveal of its impressive value. Let's start by taking a look at the time period when the 1990 nickel was minted. The United States in 1990 was in a period of transition. The country was navigating the tail end of the 1980s economic boom, entering into the 1990s with new technologies and a shifting political landscape. The end of the Cold War was just around the corner, and the country was adjusting to the rapidly changing global stage. Domestically, the U.S. had begun its journey into a new economic era, with a recession hitting in the early years of the decade. It was a time when coins like the 5-cent piece continued to be used in everyday transactions, circulating quietly among the population as symbols of American heritage. However, the 1990 nickel has far more to offer than just a historical backdrop. This coin is part of the Jefferson Nickels series, which has been in circulation since 1938. It features the same enduring design, making it both a familiar and cherished part of U.S. coinage. Yet, the 1990 nickel is unique in its own right, especially for those who pay attention to the nuances of U.S. minting history. The Jefferson nickel has been one of the most iconic coins in American currency. Since its introduction, the design has remained largely unchanged, with the obverse displaying a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, and the reverse featuring an image of Jefferson's Virginia home, Monticello. Created by artist Felix Schlag, the Jefferson design has endured over the decades because of its historical significance and its representation of one of the founding fathers of the United States. On the obverse of the 1990 nickel, we find Jefferson's portrait facing left, with the inscription Liberty above and the year 1990 below. The words, "In God We Trust," are prominently displayed below the portrait, reinforcing the religious and patriotic themes that are deeply embedded in U.S. coinage. Thomas Jefferson's name is engraved above the image, reminding us of the man who shaped much of early American history. On the reverse side, we see a detailed depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia. The image of Monticello on the reverse has become a symbol of Jefferson's legacy as a statesman, philosopher, and landowner. The depiction of Monticello also speaks to Jefferson's belief in education and progress, as he was an advocate for the spread of knowledge and the development of a more perfect society. The reverse inscription reads, E pluribus unum, or, out of many, one, a motto that reflects the unity and strength of the nation, even as it grows and evolves over time. The words, United States of America, and 5 cents round out the design, indicating the coin's value and origin. While the design of the 1990 nickel may not be as unique or revolutionary as some other coins, its historical continuity and lasting popularity among collectors is undeniable. The 1990 nickel is part of a series that has maintained a sense of tradition while still being accessible and recognizable to everyday Americans. It's a coin that has lived through decades of change, yet still remains a constant in U.S. currency. But why is the 1990 nickel, in particular, so interesting to collectors? The answer lies in the quality of the coin, its rarity, and the condition in which it has been preserved. Like many coins from the late 20th century, the 1990 nickel was produced in large quantities, with hundreds of millions being minted at various U.S. mint locations. These coins circulated widely and saw everyday use, which means that most 1,990 nickels you come across today are worn and heavily circulated. Coins that are in poor condition typically hold very little value beyond their face value. However, a 1990 nickel that is in near perfect or uncirculated condition can command a premium among collectors. The sharp details, lustrous shine, and clean surfaces of an uncirculated coin make it highly sought after in the numismatic community. It's these coins, those that have been carefully preserved and kept in excellent condition, that are worth significantly more than a typical 5-cent piece. As we dive deeper into the world of coin collecting, it becomes clear that condition is key. A coin that has been stored in a protective holder, free from scratches, tarnish, or other signs of wear, is much more valuable than one that has been tossed around in pockets or wallets for years. Uncirculated coins are a rarity in the world of numismatics, especially when it comes to more modern coins like the 1990 nickel. In addition to condition, the presence of minting errors can also significantly increase a coin's value. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the production of the coin, such as an off-center strike, a double die, or an incorrect stamping. These errors create unique versions of the coin that stand out from the typical examples produced. Collectors love error coins because they represent a piece of numismatic history that is unlike any other. If you happen to find a 1990 nickel with a minting error, you could be sitting on a truly rare and valuable piece of American currency. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1995-cent coin today. Most 1990 nickels in circulation are still worth only 5 cents, but coins in pristine condition or with rare minting errors can fetch much higher prices. If you have a 1990 nickel that's been kept in excellent condition, or even better, one with a minting error, it could be worth thousands of dollars. In fact, a 1990 nickel in exceptional condition could be worth as much as $41,000. Yes, you heard that right, $41,000 for a single 5-cent coin. The key takeaway here is that coin collecting is not just about the face value of the coins you have. It's about understanding the rarity, the condition, and the uniqueness of each piece. With the 1990 nickel, you might just have a small treasure on your hands, especially if it has been kept in mint condition or features a rare error. So, the next time you come across a 1990 nickel, take a moment to examine it closely. You could be holding a coin that's worth much more than you ever imagined.